Let's have a real quick chat about down tuning the 7-string guitar. And by that I mean drop tuning. Very similar to what you know as drop D on the 6th string. We're going to drop our 7th string to match our 5th string. The heck does that mean for us? You'll find out. Here's an intro. So first and foremost, make sure you subscribe and click the alerts so you see everything I'm up to, and I'd love to have you on board if you're not already. But if you are already, thank you. So this guitar is my Mark Holcomb PRS 7. Standard tuning, as many of you probably know, for a 7-string is B at your lowest string, and it goes B, E, A, D, G, B, E. But typically with a lot of my guitars, I take all of that tuning, whether it's a 6-string or a 7-string, and I go down a half step. Now, of course, you could talk in sharps or flats. I prefer flats. So if I were to do that on this guitar, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat. But I want to take it one step further, like a lot of 7-string guitarists do, because now we're going to take that, what I am calling the low B flat, our 7th string, we're going to match it to the A flat. One of the most common tunings, honestly, for a lot of 7-string metal bands is to do that drop style of tuning. There's a couple reasons for that. I mean, first of all, for riffs, it's really easy to be able to drop down with that open string and play the first 3, the lowest 3 open strings. You've got a power chord just like you do in drop D. But outside of that, it makes a lot of chord extensions a lot more accessible, and it's just really comfortable. It allows me to add extra bass to certain chords very easily. But what I love most about it is when we start to think about that lowest note now. So I'm in drop A flat on that low 7-string, it's an A flat or G sharp. Either way you want to think about it. Then with that, I kind of start to go into a 6-string brain. So I know that that same note as my open 7-string appears on the 5th fret of my 6th string at this point. And my brain can start to think of all of my positions, all of my modes, all of that as if it were playing a 6-string guitar, and just knowing that I could tap into that lower bass note with the 7-string easily. But I think the most wonderful part about using this tuning in metal, anything really having to do with an open lower note and that double bass drum, is that we can really play around with those open string parts and other variations on that low string, but we can always tap into the scale work like I just did across the board elsewhere, easily. Let alone the idea that we can really do some bassy chord work with extensions like 9s and minor and major thirds just with those lower 3 strings without straining our hands so much. So listen, just like any other tuning, if you're curious about what it feels like to play in that tuning, just do it. Just try it out. And it may feel extremely uncomfortable at first, but the more you enjoy it, the more you'll do it, the more practice you have, and the easier it becomes very quickly. Also, just a quick disclaimer, if you're doing drastic changes to your guitar, like changing string gauges, going crazy on tuning changes, especially if you have a floating tremolo, don't do it yourself if you're not prepared and confident. Find a luthier, find a guitar tech, and they'll do it right without breaking your stuff. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.